Let's get started. We'll talk about planning a business intelligence system. Step first, identify end user requirements. We'll have a 6 session step by step. We unfold and understand what are the different building blocks to implement business intelligence. As I said, conventional BI developer is a report developer, and nowadays we are basically a facilitator to support your business users to identify and address their business queries. So it is important to anticipate. You need to understand what exactly people want, anticipate how end user will analyze their data. Ultimately, I want to understand what my end user wanted. If I put myself as an end user customer, I'll give you an example. Most of you are a common user of Flipkart, right? You often use Flipkart to buy your system, or you use eBay and blah blah, various sites. As a buyer, if I look this Flipkart site, it is not meeting my expenses. For example, my query, I like to see a mobile, LG mobile, which cost me in between LG mobile. I do not know exactly what I need, but I have some vague idea that I need a LG mobile. The ranging between 10,000 bucks to 20,000 bucks. I need this LG mobile. So I got a couple of choice. Now what is missing in this? What more I'm expecting as an end user? I like to see the review of these two products from external customer. All the reviews you see of the product, maybe the internal review. I like to see how customer think about this. All the customer has bought this product. What do you think about it? And the first question comes in my mind. There's a site called Mouth Shut. What does the customer or some forum talk about this product? Is it good? My expectation is when I click on this product, the review of this product should be visible over here on the right side. And the review is given by external party, third party company. By current mobile, the current site doesn't give me this liberty. Or I further like to see what if I buy this mobile and if I want to sell this after 1 year, what could be my resale cost? So some basic question I may have in my mind, which your system may not, your current site may not answer. So business user requirement depends upon the kind of experience they have, the product they are dealing with. You need to understand their requirement. The best way to gather the requirements to communicate to them, viewing their key users and communicate to them. Key users. The users in a business intelligence are primarily categorized. You have a C-band people, your CEO, CFO, and different category of people. You have business analysts. So different people have different requirements. Business analysts are from different domain. You may have people from HR domain. They have different requirement. You may have people for sales. So different users have a different requirement. We need to speak to them and understand. In real world, exactly people do not know what they want. Your user do not know exactly what they want. We need to dig out, communicate to them. So as part of your requirement gathering process, your source system is a business design document, BRD, or business requirement document, or business design document. This is the origination of your business, which give us a vague idea about what they need. It's not very clear and crispy. They do not also talk about what tool, solution they use. So requirement consists of what you need, how you need, and why you need. How it is to be addressed by developer. What is to be addressed by your business users. The business users say, I need this. How will be dealt by technical team. And why? Naturally, it's a partially done by business development team, business users, and your technical team. So there are multiple phases of requirement gathering. We'll talk about them. Data collection techniques. Post your data is available, how business user interpret and analyze them, and finally they should be able to drive some important decision. So we'll go down step by step. It is utmost important for you to understand the needs of the user. Different user come with different needs, right? If you want to implement your solution, your system administrator may have different need. Your testing team may have a different needs. Your line of business manager has a different need. So the first step toward building a solution to understand and identify your different verticals which are going to use my solution. For example, when it is being used by people from finance team, they may like to do forecasting or planning and budgeting, or they like to do financial analytics. They like to project their income statement. When it is being used by HR manager would like to know what are the expenses associated with hiring, compensation, planning, benefits, training. So different people have different needs. Step first, gather people requirement. Technically, you see in this example, I group them functionally, who are the user, and technically, what are the sources. Your BI often implement on top of ERP solution. What are different technical sources? Technical challenges are you work on different data source at one time. You may have enterprise warehouse, you may have ERP system, you may be using simple operational system like sales order processing. The one system which your big bazaar or your Walmart uses, they use some system where they record day-to-day transaction. So we need to identify requirement from technically or business point of view both. Business intelligence implementation done in phases. Okay. So there are two possibilities, top to bottom and bottom to up. Top to bottom and bottom to up. We'll talk about bottom to up. I show you one of my business requirement. In one of my business requirement, I got the requirement as already existing reports. My client is using Java based application and they want this Java based reporting system they have, and they want it to migrate from Java based reporting to OBI or some BI reporting solution. So the kind of report they want, it's already there with them, but it has couple of flaws. So they are using some legacy based reporting solution, right? So I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I need to replace this legacy based reporting solution some BI reporting. In this process, I need to identify step first why they want to move from, identify the current system limitation and what is not being met, what my users are expecting. When I look at my current system, something I can quickly see is a conventional reports, like reports associated with revenues of different business vertical, report associated with expenses, report associated with employee talent retention policy, financial performance. It's a common report used by any organization in the world. So the requirement is a solution itself. It's iterative. People want the same report to be reused in BI. The limitation, I can see something, reports are static or it's a snapshot of data. This is a non-interactive report. I cannot click on this and play around. Right? Report is static. The reports were designed considering BI needs of 10 years back. The solution which I designed, I built this solution 10 years back. Those days, my business internet need was different. Volume of data was very little. We have little data. Right? There was no way of social networking. We did not have social networking. But nowadays, my requirement has changed. Previously, we used to do an example of this. All customer survey we used to do manually, and now it is done on Facebook, right? My solution should be smart enough to bring data from Facebook as well. We used to work on little amount of data, and now you must have heard about big data. We have high volume of data. You're also capturing customer demographics, CRM. Many, over the period of time, you keep on growing your requirement and you want to integrate multiple verticals into your conventional reporting tool, and that causes the reporting solution to be very slow, not meeting the current requirement. So you may have existing report as your source as well. When you do a re-engineering, reverse engineering or re-engineering, that is one possible way. Second possible way, the first possibility is relatively higher. Second possible way, your client has no BI solution at all and they want some BI solution, but in the business design document the queries are very vague, or the queries are very business vocabulary which may not directly understand. For example, I am working in retail domain and my business requirement just gave me a one-line statement, or even sometimes your queries are even shorter than that. CFO say, I want to cut down shipping cost by 10%. The requirement could be one-liner statement. Then how would you cut down your shipping cost by 10%? One simple answer to be identify the alternate vendors or provider who make product shipping, or increase the product price. What are the various ways you want to opt? That's secondary, but the requirement driven from one line statement. When you work in a project where you need to implement solution from the scratch, requirements are often one line statement. The first step you supposed to do it, you prepare a report wireframe or mock, report mock. Report mock is called a template. What exactly people need, they do not know. So you prepare a sample report with some junk data or sample data you pull from the ERP system. Maybe they are using Oracle apps or PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, SAP, Legacy, or many other ERP products. Take a sample data from them, put into this report and say, hey, I'm going to design your report like this. Do you like it or not? This way, the first step of mapping business user requirement with what exactly they are looking for. Now, when you give them sample report, they will come back to you stating that what they need, what they do not need, because now they have some visibility that how eventually your report would look like. They have some visibility, and they say, no, I along with retailer name, I want couple of more columns. I need tabular view and graph view. In addition to this, I need more detail. So requirement could be top down, where reports are already exist, or bottom up, where you need to build the solution completely from the beginning. It could be both the ways. So first, we prepare a standard report. Conventional BI tools are designed maybe 15 years back. All the reporting used to done in Java, .NET, and some legacy product we use. And reporting is all about, reporting was confined to pulling data from source system and presenting it. That's it. The standard report. The new generation report comes to ad hoc reporting. Now imagine an example of a car. When you buy a car, one of the important parameter you pay attention is your car should be simple to drive and easy to control. Even if you buy a Mercedes or BMW, it is difficult to operate. You don't feel like buying. You want control in your hand. Ad hoc reporting want the same thing. We want it to give a control to the business user. Business users always have numerous questions in their mind, which is almost impossible for you to answer by creating a separate query. They keep on asking questions. Their questions are never ending. They keep on asking, what if the sales tax revised by 10%? How much it is going to impact to impact my revenue? Or what if I introduce, I'm starting working on the promotional policies. I say some of my products are not going good. I say what if we reduced the cost of product by 10%? In how many months we can recover our losses, right? Or how it is going to impact my total revenue? There are hundreds of questions they have in mind, which you cannot fulfill by writing set of queries. They keep on asking questions. What if this happened? What if that happened? So we want to give power to the end user so that they get their question answered on them by themselves without asking, coming back to me. So ad hoc report, if I see from any vendor specific, I'm using OBI and I have designed a solution for my client. I've given a power to my customer. Whatever data they want, the simple drag and drop. My solution is so simple. It's user friendly. They can connect to my source system, and whatever question they have, they just need a mouse click, they drag and drop and get their question answer. They can write a simple calculation, complex calculation, what if analysis, and the solution is so simple, drag, drop and process. That's it. So next step, we supposed to design a solution considering my interface should be easy enough so anybody can use it. We want to give ad hoc reporting capabilities to my user. So where you need an input from the user. In order to prepare a standard report, you need to ask them, how do you want your report? How do you want your report to look like? Then you ask them, what kind of analysis you like to do it? You capture building blocks. For example, for ad hoc analysis, I go back to my users and say, hey, what kind of analysis you like to do it? My manager say, the business say, we would like to introduce promotional policies, but we do not know exactly what promotional policy we should opt. What is expenses associated with this, right? They would like to evaluate product profitability. They are introducing some new product and they like to know what could be the expected profit of the product. You may be surprised, every day you see news, you see various advertisements. There's a great business intelligence behind it. They also identify what kind of customers, target customers are. If you go to a Pogo channel or some kids channel, you find most of the ads are considering your target audience. Target audience are kids. So most of ads are related to chocolates, cookies and all. There's a business intelligence because they identify the target customer. So they also like to do what if BI solution considering customer demographic. So behind every step there is an input needed from the customer. For standard report, what kind of report people need. For ad hoc reporting, what kind of analysis people want. We speak to them and prepare a list of queries they want. Then I go to next step. Every step you need an input from user. Hey, so drill down and drill up. It means, do you need detailed and summary information? So detailed and summary information. For example, I'm designing a promotional strategies. My promotional strategy. And my promotional strategy, I'm designing global promotional strategy. Let's say PepsiCo identify they want their all product to be promoted for a summer season. Right. This is one line. We wanted our all product to be promoted this summer season. So promote strategy we decide for a global. Then the promotional strategy will in turn be depends upon different geographical. So it would be geographical based. If they promote in India, their strategy would be different. If they promote in USA, their strategy would be different. Right? So further nail down, promotional global, I write down a hierarchy over here, global to country wise, and then From country they further go down to more detailed level. The promotional strategy would be different in South India and they would be different in North India, right? So they further, whatever strategy they define, it mapped with geographical region. Country wise they have different strategy for province and state. So what kind of hierarchy people want, what detailed information they want, how much investment is done in promotional strategies. As a globally, we say globally we decide to invest $100,000 for in promotional strategies. And then further go down, country wise each country we allocate $20,000 or maybe, and then further we promote in different activities in different province, and then you say we would like to promote our product using different promotional channel, using social networking, TV and all. So by speaking to them, we'll dig out these activities, how they want the data to be detailed or summary. We also need the input from generating alerts. Alerts is a method of communicating to critical situation to the user. It could be casual situation as well, not always critical. A simple example, if your flight get delayed, you get an SMS from the provider. You get an SMS stating that your flight got delayed by 3 hours or got cancelled. It's a simple example of alert. So what kind of communication your end user want? You need to prepare a list of them. In retail domain, I say my stock manager wants, he wants to be communicated if stock on hand is less than or equals to we had some threshold values. If it is less than, they want to be communicated by email or by phone. Or more simple example, if you're a sales manager, you want if the variance or a difference between your actual sales and target sales is very high, you want it to be communicated back to you. So how, to whom, how to be communicated, how to generate. In alerts, what are the events? What events you need? What alert mechanism? Alert communication channel. You want to communicate through mobile, you want to communicate through phone. Events, alert communication mechanism, and what action to be taken place. You can have auto, you can associate some action, automate. If your stock on hand is less than threshold values, you generate event, action, place order, auto generated. Automatically order would be placed. So inputs are needed in every step of implementation. Then this is all under your reporting system. In addition to this, we need input from my business user, what kind of analytical solution they need. It could be simple statistical analysis. I would like to forecast my expenses. So when I communicate to them, they give me one Excel sheet. I say every time, give me 1 minute, I show you. We would like to forecast our expenses. This is an example. They see, I want my expenses to be forecasted, and they give me this Excel sheet and say every year we forecast our revenue and expenses, and this is all manually we do in Excel sheet. So we assume there are 3 business cases we discuss. Expected forecast, my revenue is growing by 10% every year. Optimist forecast, we revise our business policy, we procure new hardware, we hire more employees, therefore we are expecting our revenue to be grown by 12%. And pessimistic. So not only reporting, people also want to project their expenses, revenue, balance sheet, everything they would like to project. So analysis may be forecasting of their expenses. It could be statistical analytics. What kind of forecasting my people business you are expecting, you need input from them. And if you go to next level, predictive modeling. For advanced analytics, we do predictive modeling. Prediction we do, if I let's say whenever you have an acquisition and merger, there is a great amount of predictive analysis done. What if we acquire this company? How it is going to impact my brand value of my company? Right? Predictive analysis is more complicated and based on certain complex algorithm which connects to two unjoined points. Some unjoined points, right? You have very unusual behavior. What if the rainy season delayed by 10 days? How it is going to impact my potato sales? Right? They are so completely unusual point. This is so silly. How you relate your rainy season or your weather with your potato sales? This is quite unusual, right? You are trying to correlate or joining some points which has no relation to each other, and you're trying to drive the relationship. Predictive analytics. What will happen next? Right? What if the season will delay by 10? Or something completely unusual which has no relation with each other. What if my government change? How it is going to impact my hiring process? Right? Something which is unusual, you never thought of, you trying to join some point. It could be simple joining, it could be based on complex algorithm. Generally, for predictive modeling, these days data scientists use complex algorithm for large volume of data. And once everything is done, we'll talk about optimization. You design a best solution, but I give my solution to HR, and I given a report to him. The report says simple report, head count report. And head count report, previously my client used Excel sheet and now they use BI. When I given them BI reporting, the processing time of the report is 15 seconds. Is really high. So your user say, hey, it's quite a stupid solution. Why should I use a BI reporting? It takes me 15 seconds. I can simply open Excel and do everything there itself. So if your solution is not fast enough in processing, people don't like to use it. So you go back and ask them, what is your expected time? You go back and ask HR manager, what is expected time to process head count report? You go back and ask them, what is expected time? You say, maximum I can wait for 3 seconds. If it is more than 3 seconds, my user will start using alternate solution. They start using Excel sheet or some other solution. So you see in every step of implementation, we need input from your business user. The design process which you're going to follow will follow iterative model. Iterative model, it means once you design your deploy solution, you go back to the first step. The business is so dynamic these days. We follow the spiral model. So I'll give you one liner overview of all of them. In our 6-day session, we'll talk about everything step by step. As today, we are going to identify the business requirement. What business people need. We are trying to identify business requirement which is explicit and some of them are implicit. Implicit user do not know what they need. So I prepare a sample report and give it to them. Hey, this is how your report look like. I prepare a list of requirements and give it to them. This is how your report look like. This is the data you get it, and so on. For my business analyst, for my CEO, CFO, I say, I'll give you one interface in one window. You can get all critical information of the business in one window. Imagine, in one window you get all information from various sources money comes in to your organization, and what are the different sources money is going out, and how your company is doing in last 5 years. So all the critical, most critical information any organization need, I give them to a CEO in one window, right? So my CEO requirements are different, my business analyst requirement different. Business analyst requirement is role based, CEO requirement is global or enterprise requirement. So business requirement, you also talk about functional requirement and infrastructure requirement. Functional requirement could be resource requirement. You design your BI solution, you need to educate your users, you need to post business requirement and identify functional requirement. So you say functional requirement, you need resource requirement, you want employee education, you want to educate the employee to start using system. Functional requirement, you need to ensure business data is validated functionally, right? We cannot validate the business data is correct or not. We want multiple level. We say at least level 1 and 2 level of validation should be done by business user. Level 1 and level 2 data validation will be done by business user. So ensure business data is validated. Similarly, you come up with a list of functional requirement, and finally your infrastructure requirement. Infrastructure, you identify how many users going to use my reporting solution. We call them base users. How many users are going to use my reporting solution? How often? What is peak time? How often they use? What is expected data? What kind of data they like to use? What kind of analysis they like to do it? These all questions in turn help me to design my infrastructure solution. So we would address at first level data volume. We say right now we need to manage data of 100 gigs, and my yearly growth rate is 10%. Second, data volume point of view. Then we talk about what server we need. Server kind of balance, number of base user, how many users we have. At peak business hour, how many people are going to use my system. Generally, in most of the application, in the month end, during month end process, the number of access to the system is very high during month end process, or often we identify -3 to +3 business day. These 6 days, my reports are used. The average use of my reports are grown up by 50%. My average users is grown up by 50% during these days. Like Flipkart, weekends, the growth, their sales is 10% more than the general day. Some kind of analysis which in turn help them to identify server infrastructure, how much memory, how much processes they need. They also understand nature of business. It's 24/7 or it work on only predefined business hours. So if my 24/7, I need to define my backup policy, backup and restore policy. You know, come up with the service level agreement, what is downtime, and how, if there's a downtime, how much time you require to recover it. So you come up with the as per nature of data or business, which in turn determine your backup and restore policies. So you come up, you see I'll give you a list of questionnaires. We have prepared a list of questionnaires for our client. So I'll cut a piece of it and give it to you. It will help you to understand what set of questions one should ask in the beginning. Then once you come up with a list of, this is some part of this should be included in business design document, which is often done by the process manager, project manager, the people who have ownership of the complete implementation. Second, we define. In the define, you nail down the same activity in a greater detail, and you prepare your project plan. You also associate timeline. Associate timeline for each activity. What is your schedule? How much time you need to design to come up with a detailed high-level design document? How much time you need to pull data from source system? What strategy you should follow? What milestone? So in one line of statement, I say one line. I need 3 developer, 2 business analyst, 1 tester, and one tester I need, and one I need for 1 business user for user acceptance test. So I come up with list of resources. I need how many resources I need. What is the milestone? I say we will build step by step. We will build BI solution. And stage 1 will address all product. One part will take. We'll prepare a report mockup, sample reports or report mockup of product profitability. So prepare a milestone and say this is to be done in 30 days. A typical project plan you design. So you prepare a report mockup. Then in second step you identify data source. Third step you identify data supply method. You want data to be supplied using alert called push or pull. So you have a list of questionnaires, line item which you discussed technically and functionally. Then there is another parameter comes related to money allocation, which generally we people are not part of this. Money allocation, money funding, who would fund the project, how much funding is there, how money would be released. It's all fall under service level SW. Service level agreement, and it is also part of SOW, statement of work, which generally we are not part of the process. And then you talk about design process. You see, you identify line item and then you prepare high level design. This is generally done by your business architect with the help of business analyst and the users. We go down to the next level called low level design. We'll share across a template for HLD and LLD both. High level design, low level design. There cannot be standard, uniform standard. If you're working for a service based company, they follow their own standard. If you work for product based company, they follow their own standard. There are no uniform standard across different industry. But high level design will talk about what to do and basic guidelines about how to do that. Low level design being developed by your developer, which talk about what procedure, what function, what parameter, what screen lookup, how I should design a solution. So the one basically I shown you, it should be a part of low level design. If I give you this view, the dashboard, it may be a design of your high level design document, which says business need this information, but how they need, what data they need, how to pull data, all this technicality is not addressed. Then I prepare a low level design document. I'm giving an essence of low level design. I personally prefer to prepare an Excel sheet and make a common Excel sheet for a business user and technical user. You see, I split into multiple pieces. One part talk about functional or business team, this is what they need. This is business query. This is how they like to show the output. But how we lower down to the next level. We'll talk about this in greater detail in next 5 sessions. Like in order to prepare this report, as in the low level design, I would identify what dimension, what fact, what data source, what column, what keys, what joins we need them, what hierarchy and topology detail, where is your database, how to connect it, what volume data it can manage, various information, low level technical details would be addressed under LLD. What inputs our user needs, what report mockup, how report would look like, who will access the report, how to access the report, role-based access also we'll talk about, who are the owner of the report, how the report would look like, how do you ship the report, is a static report in terms of PDF, is a HTML report, is the reports are refreshable. All this question we address under low level design document. And then if you're a developer, your work starts from here. You develop a solution and you deploy it. Because we are focusing on report development over here, the process would be different. If you're an ETL developer, your set of activity would be different. If you are a report developer, your activity would be different. We would be focusing on this process. So this is what we are going to continue to talk about in subsequent session in detail. This slide is very, very important for you to understand what kind of users you have. Sometimes you get frustrated what kind of you are working with. They don't know such a silly things. Something which is quite silly for us, for example, sharing your folder, right? Attaching a folder in email. This is quite a silly thing. You never think of, somebody do not know this. You will be surprised. But when you work in a peer reporting, the larger audience are non-technical. They are functional control, financial controller, business analyst, funding manager, planners, front-end executives. Like if you implement business intelligence in retail domain, your front-end executives, like who process your bill. When you go to Walmart, the people who interact with you, they are front-end executive. You cannot expect them to be technical savvy. So larger audience are non-technical. They are smart enough to access Google, email and all. 85% users are like this. They are smart enough to drag and drop. That's it. On top of that, the intermediate layer are business analysts. They are smart guys. Technically, we call them power users. You must have heard of power users. And they are called view-only users. Power users have good blend of business data and technology. They are not technical expert, but they are often MBA guys who know what the business. They are responsible for business development, enhancement of the organization. So they know technology, business both together. And then we have advanced users like us. We are developer and we understand business data. In terms of technology, we understand things. If I give you a silly example, for us, we understand TBL, prod, history. We are pretty much comfortable with this. We understand, oh, it's a table, product, history table. This is you understand as advanced user. Or more complicated example, you're working in financial domain and you get a table called GL 001 002. It's a general ledger for assets, for short-term asset, right? Or you use SRC, a lot of convention use, TRG. So you are quite used to of using these terminologies. You are advanced users, but your business user, intermediate user will be using this in own language. TBL, product history, they would use a simple language called product history. And the business user see the information in business vocabulary. Technical user will see the information in in terms of tables and metadata structure. The BI reporting solution you design, when you draw or create a report, you often, as a business analyst, I don't have to fall the complexity of underlying metadata. I simple drag and drop whatever information I need. I like to see product order status. I drag and drop and process. That's it. So as a power user, I'm smart enough how to use OBI or any tool, and I know how to drag and drop. But behind the screen, the actual technicality is handled. For example, when I drag and drop any BI tool, I have chosen OBI, any BI tool on my selection, it render the actual physical query. This is complex physical query. This is a technical complexity which is to be handled and managed by your advanced users. They should be knowing which table, which column, which joins, which constraints are being used. But as a business analyst, I don't have to care of all these things. So primarily, you should identify who are your users and what kind of report they like to see. For non-technical users, often we give them pre-built dashboard where they don't need to use their intelligence. Just blindly look at the interface, whatever data they need, look at the interface. They don't need to be technical savvy. Whatever information they want, they select this and click on process. There are some users which are even lower than that. For them, we give a static report like a PDF. I can export this report and give it to my user. It's a static report in a PDF or HTML format. Right? So depends upon what kind of users you are dealing with. You need to provide data into respective language format. These users technically are mapped to three terms we call power users, analyst, and information consumer. Start from bottom, top to bottom. Information consumer, as I said, completely end user. They can only see the information. They may not want the information to be interactive. They consume predefined reports and dashboard. Predefined reports. They do not play around with this. And the contents are only view only. Right? Whereas advanced analytics users are, they not only look at the predefined report, but they also are smart enough to do analysis. For example, I'm an advanced user. I see this report, but I like to further drill down, go to more detailed level. I like my report to be reorganized, reorient, remodel, reshape, and change the view as per my liking and disliking. See, I'm a power user. I know I can drag and drop and reorganize my data in a way that it makes some sense to me. I can order, apply calculation, all these things I can do it. And finally, your power user, your analyst and your power user, like a developers. They design a solution. They are a part of core BI team of an organization. There are three kinds of users, and your business requirement may vary from user to users. How much time they spend in finding, accessing, and analyzing information. You have different category of users, and how much time they spend to bring the required data from the system. There will be different requirements for different users. I have given over here different verticals. My HR team needs data 24/7. They need data all the time. Whereas my functional finance team need data only during month end process. So I say they need data from -3 business day. -3 business days, like today is -3 business day. -2, -1. This is +1 business day. So when they need data, different team needs data and different time zone and different kind of analysis. So what data, when they need it, it is also need to understand and analyze. My business analysts spend whole time in doing analysis, so they need my business data all the time. whereas financial team needs some days. This question I already addressed. I'll say once again. What type of question they will be asking? In list of questions. What question they need? And in order to address those questions, we'll prepare a report wireframe or template. What question they are asking? We'll create a sample view of their question which map to their question. So it's good idea to prepare a wireframe. Last, I think we discussed about this. Last thing we apply, how your user want the information to be consumed, how the user want. So I have a finance team, how they want report. Finance team want first business day or fourth business day. They want previous month financial closing statement in their desktop to be emailed. They don't want this to be connected. Financial statement to be emailed. They want this, finance team. My sales team, they need on first business day, they want variance report like sales manager. Sales manager would like to know variance report between your actual and target sales. So different team, they need data in different format. I want this report to be email and fax. I don't have time to go back or some event happen. So how information supply? It is on demand. You go and connect to the system. On demand. It could be schedule based or real time data. Like I am working on ERP tool, Oracle apps. The moment sales happen, like you're in a Walmart, there's a store manager. He wants every minute transaction detail. He would like to monitor the status of different product. So generally for ERP system, when user like to connect to the source directly, is a real time data analytics. We have a reporting kind RTR, real time reporting. So these are three ways through which information is supplied. So I touch base a little mismanagement in time. I touch base most of the important aspects